In this video, I'll show you how to create catalog ads. And the first thing to know about catalogs ads is that, again, like many other types, they should be tested in different various ways. So mainly there's two ways to create a catalog ad. So the first way is obviously by selecting the catalog sales campaign objective. And when you do that, you need to select your catalog. So I'll select our example catalog over here and create a new campaign. So let's call this one catalog, and this is catalog with catalog sales and no CBO. And what we need to do here is select our product set, and we are done with the campaign settings. Then we need to move on to the ad set. At the ad set level, we also need to fix a few things. So first of all, we need to select our catalog set. That's very clear. And then, as you can see, this is a link clicks objective. So it's currently optimizing for link clicks. So here you can also select to optimize for conversion events, which is what I do recommend that you do, because you don't want the clickiest people, you want the people who are buying the most, and you want that to be what you are optimizing for. Right, so then there's two types of catalog sales campaigns. The first one is the one that people use the most generally, and this is the retargeting option, which says retarget ads to people who interacted with your products on and off Facebook. So that means, just to discuss it for a second, it means that if they interacted with your instant experiences, with any of your product catalogs or seen your products on Facebook, that counts for them seeing these products. Also, if they visited your online store and visited specific products or categories, these are the exact products and categories that Facebook is going to advertise to them, right? So if they came to your website and saw, let's say, a nice jacket, when they go back to Facebook via the dynamic remarketing feature of these campaigns, they'll see that jacket specifically. And they are also very cool to combine with certain offers. And as you can see here, we have lots of options, but let's first go with the simplest option, which is the kind of the cold campaign type, and cold catalog sales. So this will help you find prospective customers even if they haven't interacted with your business. So this is for a cold audience, and this is a retargeting audience. So when you create your cold audiences, of course, you can use all the targeting options that you already know, and I do not recommend that you select this option and then select the retargeting option over here, right? You can select, for example, your website visitors as an audience over here and select find prospective customers even if they haven't interacted with your business. That's a no-no. So if you're going to retarget, choose the other option. And then you choose your targeting options, and definitely go here to the conversion events. And optimize for conversion events and for purchases, not for link clicks, which is the default option, and a lot of people leave it at the default, right? So now our campaign has the proper naming. We need to name it, so that would be the campaign name, we'll call it catalog, and then our goal is purchases, right? And see that beautiful name over here, right? So then we move on to the ad. When we go to the ad, we have several options over here. First of all, the default option here is carousel. So you can select single image or video, but then that's not going to be very, very good, and it's going to just kind of show them one product. So the best way to go is with the carousel option, and you can either advertise multiple products or product categories. But in order for you to do that, you need to have organized collections in Shopify, and we don't have that in our feed, but that's not a big issue. So here you have the option between single image and slideshow. So let's take a look at how these look. So single image looks like this. Let's go to the desktop version, make it a little bit bigger. And this is kind of how the single image looks. It kind of looks like a carousel, and the slideshow creates create a looping video for each card using multiple images per item is what it does, and that kind of allows you to create a carousel of slideshows in a sense. Now I don't know if that's going to be able to dynamically generate over here since we don't have enough products for that, but generally that's what happens over here, and it still looks like a carousel. So generally these catalog ads look like carousels if that's what you select over here. And you can select a collection or single image, but that's not very much recommended. And also another thing is that maybe you don't want to use the dynamic formats. I know we haven't studied them yet, but we'll get there very soon. So when you present your products, first of all, you have to decide what do you want to include in the headline and in the description. Some people like to put the product name and then put the price, like that. And some people like to do the opposite. So just put the price over here and then the product name over here in the description, just so that their price appears a little bit bigger. Right, and just as any ad, you have your primary text, which obviously should enhance the collection, but you have to be careful because these products are dynamically added to this feed, and you need to be careful about that. And then you also have your URL, which is going to be in the general case, it's going to be your store URL. Now here you can also add a few cards. You can add an intro card for your online store and a profile card for your business page. Both are not recommended because when you create collection ads or catalog ads, you want to show your products. People, you don't want people to like your page, for example. That's not the primary objective. Even though it's a good thing, you still don't want to do that. And then you have your display URL and just basic standard options for any ad, and you need to select your Facebook pixel. That's very important as well. So this is how you create these types of ads. And the way to test them is actually you can create, as you can see here, we have our catalog sales CBO off campaign, and then we are going to create another one where we are going to go for conversions. We'll call this one catalog as well. And as you can see, our campaign objective is conversions over here, and we don't touch anything more over here. Then when we go to our ad set, we will select our conversion event, select it as a purchase, and we can go over here and select, can go over here, and when creating our ad, we can select carousel, and when we select the carousel, we can manually choose images, videos, and links, obviously. And we can also fill the carousel cards dynamically from a product set. Now, what's the difference? This way, doing it with a conversions campaign, is only going to work for a cold audience most of the time. It can work for a little bit of a warmer audience, but it makes no sense for you to go for that since you're not going to use the dynamic remarketing feature that you can use inside of your catalog sales campaign. right? So you actually can select like your website visitors or a lookalike audience, and that's cool. And it's a good idea for you to test which one works better. Sometimes the catalog sales campaigns work better for a cold audience, and sometimes the conversion campaigns work better. It kind of seems to vary, and we don't really know why. Obviously, you select your catalog, Shopify product catalog in this case, and you can create your catalog ad in this way. Now let's explore the retargeting option because it's a little bit more interesting. So we have, as you can see, we have catalog conversions and catalog sales, both of them without CBO. And you can use CBO, but that's not what we're talking about right now. Right, so we'll go on to this one and create a new ad. By the way, you can create both within one campaign, even though that's generally not what you want to do. And now we will select over here. We will select retarget ads to people who interacted with your products on and off Facebook. And then you can see viewed or added to cart but not purchases, promote products to store collection and all products, people who viewed or added those products to the basket in the last 14 days. Or you can kind of adjust that. Generally we go with 30. Sometimes some people like to do like 7, 14, 30. So do all of them and kind of have different creatives, maybe add an offer later on. Then we have added to cart but not purchased. So this is viewed or added. This is added to cart but not purchased. And then you can upsell products. So that's also another nice feature. And specifically when you have the collections, you can upsell the related products. And if you have added the related products feature in your catalog, each product will have its own related products, which will be used or preferred by the ads as products to be upsold, which is great. And then you can also cross-sell. So you can use, let's say, for example, a different product feed. Some people like to also separate their product feeds so that they can advertise one feed to an audience and then another feed to another audience. But that's a lot of work. And of course, you can make whatever custom combination you want. So interacted with the products from this collection, and then maybe they purchased, and then we want to also say, let's say they viewed or added to cart. Let's get rid of the purchased but not purchased, and that's kind of how you create these combinations. But the ones on top are pretty much good enough for you to get the job done. And of course, over here you have your custom audience options and everything else that we've studied so far. So finally, how do you use these guys? First, you create a catalog sales campaign and a conversions campaign for your cold audiences. Then, obviously, most of the time you're going to have a remarketing conversions campaign, and you can also try the catalog sales. Specifically for e-commerce, the catalog sales dynamic remarketing tends to perform better because people see the exact products that they saw and interacted with or added to the cart on your website, which is great. Obviously, you need to have your Facebook pixel installed and connected to that campaign for this to work, and you need to have your product set catalog, which is, obvious. And so if you do have an e-commerce store, try them out. They tend to work for a bit of a low risk kind of products, the cheaper types of products, because if you are going to advertise something that's a lot more expensive, then maybe you want to have separate ads for each of your products. Let's say if you're selling, I don't know, $2,000 TVs or €7,000 handbags, then you want to have separate ads for each product, because even one sale is kind of merits that ad. But if you have an online store with relatively cheap products, then you can use the cold catalog sales campaigns, and they could provide you with some very, very good results. Now, on the remarketing side, you can actually use it for some of your more expensive products, because sometimes people just forget about the purchase that they wanted to do. They get busy, you know, life calls them, and they kind of forget. So you can definitely use a catalog sales dynamic remarketing campaign. They're pretty easy to do once you set up your feed, and they kind of show people the right products. So the trick with them is, when you create your ads, you want to present your products well. So what you use over here is very, very important. So for example, some people like to do, in order to fit more information, if that's possible, they like to do something like that, like a short description over here and a product price plus the name, or vice versa, like name price, short product description, to provide a little bit more information. But you should know that it's not going to be visible every time, and that's why you need to rely on your product images. And some people decide also to have different images on their website and in their ads, and that's why they go with the manual selection of images. So just they basically kind of adjust their images over here. And you can also view like some of the information, and you can add the price over here inside of the images. This is something that works really, really well. We can obviously experiment with different options over here. You can, you know, change the position of it and present a little bit more information over here. You can also frame them, but we don't have a frame. Like, you can actually upload a frame that's going to go around these, and in this frame you can maybe provide some additional information about your online store, which is a cool thing to do as well. And here you can also present like things like strike-through price, which is kind of shows if you are providing any types of discounts. You can also say it in terms of a percentage, so that's kind of 5% off, but that doesn't show you the price. You can also have free delivery if that's available, but there's no free delivery information for this product. So I generally like the strike-through price, and the shape, the best shape is either the triangle or the simple rectangle. It can also be a little bit transparent, but that's not very good because it's kind of reduces the contrast, and you can also change its position. Yep, so well, that's pretty much everything there is to know about catalog ads. It's all about setting your product feed, using them for cold audiences and remarketing, and seeing how they do. Mainly, the success of these campaigns will depend on your products, on your images, not so much on the copy, and they'll kind of highly depend on the price. If they're very expensive, they're unlikely to work for cold audiences with these types of ads, and then you have to go with some of the other options that we discussed already. Right, well, that's it for catalog ads, and I'll see you guys in the next video.